Here at Boulevard, we operate two different brew houses, our original 1930s vintage 35-barrel system and a state-of-the-art 150-barrel brew house commissioned in 2006. Together, they're capable of producing more than 600,000 barrels per year. Before we dive into the brewing process, let's step back for a moment and take a quick look at what makes beer, well, beer. All breweries start with the same four basic ingredients: malted barley, hops, water, and yeast. Ultimately, it's the quality, amount, and specific traits of these ingredients that help give each brew its unique characteristics. The heart and soul of all Boulevard beers is two-row barley, but we can't use it straight from the field. It first needs to be germinated and dried, a process known as malting. Malted barley gives beer its body, its color, and much of its flavor. Hops are the flowers of a perennial vine that grows best in places like Washington's Yakima Valley. The hop flowers contain resins and essential oils that add flavor and provide bitterness that helps balance the sweetness of the malt. Certain types of hops are also used for their aromatic contributions. Yeast is a mysterious microorganism that consumes sugars, converting them into alcohol, carbon dioxide, and flavor compounds. Boulevard's proprietary yeast strains are among our most important assets, essential to our beer's taste and individuality. And last but not least, there's water. You've heard the brewery ads touting the importance of their sky blue water or their cold mountain streams. Here at Boulevard, we've got our own secret. We use only the finest Missouri River water. Actually, once it's been thoroughly filtered, it makes excellent brewing water. Before we can begin brewing, we first have to mill the malted barley. We want to crush the grains enough to fully expose the starchy interior of the seeds, but not too much or we might destroy the husks, and we'll need those husks later. Now we're ready to start brewing, a process that involves three primary vessels: the mash tun, the lauter tun, and the brew kettle. First, the milled grain or grist is transferred into the mash tun. By mixing the grist with hot water, enzymes created during the malting process are activated, transforming the starchy kernel of the malt into fermentable sugars. By the end of the process, over 2/3 of the original weight of the malted barley has been converted into sugars. Next up is the lauter tun. Lautering is the process of separating the sweet liquid created during mashing from the remnants of the crushed grain. As the liquid, now known as wort, is pumped to the top of the vessel, the husks settle to the bottom and form a natural filter. The wort drains through this filter bed and is collected before making its way to the brew kettle. The remaining solids are diverted to a spent grain tank, where they're picked up by local ranchers for use as nutrient-rich livestock feed. In the brew kettle, the wort is brought to a full rolling boil for over an hour, sterilizing it and evaporating unwanted flavors and aromas. Early in the boil, we add one or more varieties of hops carefully chosen to provide just the right balance of bitterness to the sweet wort. Then, with only a minute or two of boiling time remaining, we add an even greater quantity of hops, this time very specific varieties selected for their aromatic qualities. From beginning to end, our brewing process takes about 6 hours. But there's a lot more work that goes into making a great glass of beer.